Hi, welcome to Wise Guys. Today we're going to look at a video on multiplication of algebraic expressions. When you're multiplying algebraic expressions, you have to pay attention to a couple of things. One of them is that you multiply the numbers, and that's called the numerical coefficients. So of course, the numbers are 3 and minus 5. You have to multiply those. You also have to multiply the letters, which are also called literal numbers. So here the letter is a squared, and we also have a to the fourth. Now when you are multiplying powers, you need to pay attention to the exponents, and if you're not sure how to do that, check the video on exponents. But the exponents can only be combined if the base is the same. So in this case, we can combine the exponents. The base, by the way, is the a. The exponent is the 2 and the 4. So we'll just walk through this one. When we're multiplying the numbers, we're multiplying 3 times minus 5. So we just write down 3 and minus 5. 3 times minus 5. Then we also have a squared right here. A squared, and we have a to the fourth. So you just write it down like this, a to the fourth. Now 3 times minus 5 is minus 15. When we multiply two powers, we add the exponents. So this becomes a to the 2 plus 4. Now it becomes minus 15, a 2 plus 4 is 6, so it becomes a to the power to 6. Now let's work through a couple of examples here. We have minus 2 times minus 7. We don't have any other numbers in there, so let's multiply those. That's minus 2 times minus 7. Now we look at our letters. The letters in algebraic expressions always are written alphabetically, so we would look at the B first, and there's only one B, so we'll just write down B. Then we have the next letters that we have to look at are the C's. So we have a C squared, C cubed, and that's it, C squared and C cubed. And when you've got a lot of numbers to deal with, sometimes it's helpful just to stroke them out as you're dealing with them, so that way you don't forget what you're doing. Now the last thing, mistake. The first thing we had to do was deal with this. So let's just backpedal a little bit. I'm going to stroke this out because I forgot to deal with this one. This is bx squared bracket squared. So we have to deal with this piece first. I'm just going to rewrite this as minus 2c squared. So for now we're just going to leave everything else the same and not change it. Minus 7 c cubed x to the fifth. Now this is bx squared, the whole thing is bracketed and squared. So what you do, and if you're not sure about this, check the video on exponents, this becomes b squared, so we have b squared, and this becomes x squared squared. So the 2 is multiplied by the 2, and it becomes x to the fourth. So then again, the first thing you have to deal with is that bracket because it's squared. If you remember BEDMAS, order of operations, brackets and exponents are the first two things that you need to deal with. So now let's take the next step. we have our number minus 2 times minus 7, which is, so we're minus 2 times minus 7. Then we have our b squared, which is our first letter. We have c squared and c cubed. I'm just going to stroke this out. C squared and c cubed. And we have x to the 5th and x to the 4th. That gets rid of those two. So now we take minus 2 multiplied by minus 7, and that gives us 14. And it's a plus 14. We have b squared. There's no other b's, so it's just b squared. We have c squared times c cubed, so that's c2 plus 3. And we have x to the 5 times x to the 4, so that's x 5 plus 4. Now we rewrite this as 14b squared, c to the 5th, x to the 9th. And that would be our answer. Now our next question, again, quite a long question here. We have two numerical numbers, or I should say two numbers, 3 and 2. So we can multiply those together. So we end up with 3 times 2. Now we look at our letters. We have minus a and a squared. When you have a minus in front of a letter, it's like a minus 1 in front of that letter. Now this a has no exponent, but what is there as an exponent that you don't see is actually a 1. So it's a to the power of 1. So again, just going back to this number that's in front of the a, we have the 3 and the 2. We also have the minus 1 that's in front of the a, so we have to add that as a number that's multiplied by the 3 and the 2. Now, going on to the a's, we have a cubed, a to the 1, and a squared. So this becomes a cubed, a1, a squared. We have only one b, it's b to the 4th, so we just write it down, b to the 4th, and we have one c, which is c cubed. Now, 3 times 2 times 1, or times minus 1, is minus 6. Here we have a to the 3 plus 1 plus 2. We have b to the 4th and c cubed. Now we just add up these exponents here, so we have minus 6, a to the 6th, b to the 4th, and c cubed. Now in this question we're going to be using the distributive law, and if you if you're not sure of the distributive law, you can look at the video on it. What happens when you use the distributive law, we have 3sy times s minus t. With the distributive law, we take 3sy and multiply it by the s, and then take 3sy and multiply it by the minus t. So this becomes 3sy multiplied by the s, and in the distributive law you put your plus sign in there, and then you take the first term again, 3sy, and we're going to multiply it by a minus t. So 3sy is multiplied by a minus t. Now here we have 3sys. Don't forget, this is s to the power of 1, this is y to the power of 1, and again s to the power of 1. So then this becomes 3s 1 plus 1, because we have a 1 there and a 1 there. And we have y, and we're not going to write y to the 1 because when you have the power of 1, you usually just don't write it. And let's just put our plus sign in here and multiply these two together. We have 3sy multiplied by minus t. So that, and this is actually a minus 1 times the t. So 3 times minus 1 gives us minus 3. Then we have s. No other s's here, so we just write the s by itself. We write the letters alphabetically, so the t comes next. There's only one t, so we'll write t by itself. And then our last letter is y, and we only have one y, so we just write it like this. So now rewriting this, we have 3s squared y. Now when you have a positive in front of a negative sign in a bracket, you can just remove the bracket and this changes to a minus. This becomes minus 3s t y. Now what we do is we look at this and we say, do we have like terms here? Because if we did, we'd add them, but we don't. So this then is our answer. Now, working through this question again using the distributive law, we have 4uv squared times 3u squared z, and then 4uv squared times minus 7u cubed. So writing it out, we have 4uv squared times 3u squared z. Then we add, it's always important to put the plus in there, 4uv squared times, this is a minus 7u cubed, sorry, minus 7u cubed. Now multiplying them through, we have 4 times 3. We have u, and this is u to the 1, times u squared, so u to the 1 and u squared. And we have v squared, there's no other v squared or v here, so we'll just write down v squared. And we have a z. Now, I'm just going to put a plus here, because this is going to end up being a minus. We have 4 times minus 7, which is minus 28. We have u to the 1 and u cubed. U to the 1, u cubed. And we have a v squared. So, multiplying this through, we have 4 times 3, which is 12. U to the 1 plus 2 is u cubed, v squared, and z. Now again, the plus in front of the minus, we can just change it to a minus and remove the brackets. So this becomes minus 28. This is u, 1 plus 3, so it's u to the 4 v squared. Then we look at our literal factors to see if these are like terms, and they're not. We have u cubed here, u to the 4th, so we cannot add them. So this then is our answer. And that is multiplication of algebraic expressions presented by Wise Guys. Have a good day.